Hello there, welcome to our channel. In this video, I'm going to focus on the chapter The Balance Between Markets and Intervention, and I'm going to talk about the market-oriented and interventionist policies. First, I'm going to focus on our main question, which is discuss the possible outcomes of market-oriented policies such as liberalized trade and capital flows, privatization and deregulation, including a more efficient allocation of resources and economic growth. Now, we need to first declare something about the need for government and the free market. Why the government is needed and how come it is differentiated between the free market. The fact is that without any government at all, many of the goods and services that society truly needs will be under-provided by the free market. In addition, without the watchful eye of the government regulators, firms with only their private costs and benefits in mind will surely overproduce many of the goods that in fact are very harmful for humans' health and environment. Despite what the most ardent free market advocates believe, there is an important role for the government in any economic system. While the majority of goods and services households demand can be provided efficiently by the free market, many of the goods necessary to promote long-run sustainable economic development and growth must be provided by or as at the very least supported by the government. Now, let's define what market-oriented policies are. Market-oriented policies of growth and development are generally any policies that require little or no role for government in promoting economic growth throughout unregulated activities of the free market. Individual consumers and producers interact with one another free of the government intervention, regulation, or control. Market-oriented development policies often require the deregulation or privatization of state-owned enterprises, handling the production of certain goods and services to private businesses. The needs or the purposes of building market-oriented policies are to maximize private benefits throughout the provision of products to the rest of the society. In context of the economic development, we must examine the efficiency of private enterprises at providing the goods needed to promote improvements in human welfare, healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Now, there are certain strengths about using market-oriented policies such as improved efficiency in the provision of public goods and privatization and deregulation and the flow of goods and services. All of three are to such as get low inflation, lower unemployment, improve economic growth, improve trade and balance of payments, and so on. Now, I'm going to talk about now the privatization and deregulation. Now, the major argument for privatization and deregulation is that the major argument for privatization and deregulation of industries previously managed or regulated now by the government is that the incentive of a private firm will always be to reduce costs, achieve efficiency, and provide quality products to the consumers. In contrast, it is believed that when important services are provided by the government, the incentives do not always align to the goals of efficiency and meet the demand of the consumers. For example, when government attempts to provide goods such as education, healthcare, and all basic utilities, there's always the possibility that corruption or bureaucratic red tape and misleading incentive that will result in wastefulness. This in turn will reduce the likelihood that these essential goods will be provided in the efficient manner that meets the national development goals. Now, in this sequence we can see that the government attempts to provide needs. For example, And what I explained before, miscellaneous incentive will always end up in wasteful and reduce the likelihood input to provide efficient is matter and do not meet national development goals. Whether the government or the free market best provide the development is a question that the nation customers must answer. And this is something really important, that efficiency and equity are not easily achieved together. Now, about the improved efficiency and the provision of goods, there is always this question: what are the marginal benefit and the marginal cost of a particular good? One way to analyze the effects of efficiency of a market-oriented approach to providing goods that improve human welfare is to apply the macroeconomic models which examine marginal health, marginal benefit, and marginal cost of a particular good. Now, I'm going to focus on the example of the Ukraine transition from a regulated national healthcare monopoly to a more competitive but private healthcare system. Now, today Ukraine has a dual healthcare system, a public funded service available to all citizens and a private health system available to those willing and able to afford private insurance premiums. The state-run health and health programs is subject to price controls determined by the government policies aimed in the national conferences. Now, in the diagram, you can see the transition that the government used to have with a all-regulated healthcare system, and the transition to the at a free market. Yes, the healthcare regulated by the free market. There you can see that the government goals of equity by keeping low prices conflicted economic objective of efficiency. The inefficient public healthcare system failed in the provision of goods. The inability of pricing mechanism to allocate resources efficiently created corruption. The government goal of equity supposedly achieved by keeping healthcare prices low, but conflicted with the macroeconomic objective, with the economic objective, since without large and enough subsidies from the government, the public healthcare system operated at a level in which actually earned economic losses. That is represented from key for Y, here for Y to PE here. There are some of the losses. Now, ultimately, the efficiency of public healthcare system also failed to achieve equity in the provision of available to human healthcare. Healthcare system also failed to achieve equity and it's an incentive and inability of the providing mechanism to allocate resources efficiently. Now, the question was then, what will happen if the provision of healthcare in Ukraine were completely turned over to the free market? In fact, just such a transition had been underway over the last 2 decades. Throughout a system of healthcare privatization, hundreds of private healthcare clinics have opened up in Ukraine, serving customers who are able to afford private healthcare insurance or are able to pay directly for medical services themselves. The incentive for a private health clinic do not lie in making healthcare affordable to the all Ukrainians, but rather maximizing their own profits. Now, yes, the price mechanism works, but the price controls don't. Why? What is that? And the situation in Ukraine healthcare shows price controls in a market for a good essential to human welfare lead to shortage. Price controls are the standard method of government intervention that is supposed to help either consumers or the products of the essential goods. Government may attempt to increase equality to help those who need the most by using price ceilings in the market for essential goods such as the fuel, the fuel, the pump. But the problem with such intervention is that price set by the government means nothing in the market economy. Prices set lower than those will determine by the market lead in shortage. Price floors set above to equality. Now, I'm going to focus about the approach in the efficiency in the international flow of goods, services, and capital. And beyond the gains of efficiency resulting from the privatization or of vital industries that then relate to economic development, a market-oriented approach to international policies also has a beneficial effect on efficiency and resource allocation that may improve the level of development of a national people. There are two strategies for economic development that require the use of protectionist policies to promote the development, such as import substitution and export promotion. The import substitution is when the government must erect barriers to trade that make foreign produced goods less attractive to domestic households. But the export promotion makes the domestic industries of interest to the government receive large subsidies that will give a competitive advantage. What is the problem with export promotion? Export promotion policies for economic development demonstrating the inefficiency of government intervention and the limitation of governments at providing economic development. Export promotion policies are those in which to make certain domestic products, yes, more competitive, but actually, due to the protectionism import substitution, it will lead up to the inefficiency as none of the domestic industries have this sustainable, like the sustainable export for more of the goods. Now, why is this important? What do we have to know this? Why is this promotion and not promotion important? For example, if you give a factory billions of dollars in subsidy, it will increase the supply, yes, but will reduce the price at a greater price of the world. Eventually, it will reduce the quality of the products there and will make them more affordable, more attractive to the people. Because of those who make the industry just subsidy to achieve the government objective of greater production, make them less competitive in the international market. Yes, and I have talked about the national people that are also negatively affected because of taxpayer and government industry that will lead us to, I don't know, kind of any disparity like that. But I'm going now to focus on the negative outcome on using market-oriented strategies, including market failure and the development of dual economics and income inequalities. Now, okay, where was I? Yes. One of the most important weaknesses of market-oriented strategies is that they cannot deal with the issue of market failures. While this issue is important to any country, it is of special importance in many developed countries where market failures are all kinds are more far whispered. Market failures that we study include negative environmental externalities and the problem to access resources, insufficient provision of merit goods including education, healthcare and other generic goods, failure to provide public goods, abuse of monopoly power, information asymmetries. Another negative outcome is the development of dual economies, which is basically when an industry because of the geographical location of many people, the industry or the persistent to grow, it brings inequalities within the country, within the industry. Sorry, it is the product of outcome of market forces that do not work to the benefit of for all or most people in a country because of the pressure of market failures and require government policy that attempts to eliminate the dualism. And another important income inequality, a negative outcome of using market-oriented policies is income inequalities, which is basically the loss of protection of workers resulting from a labor market reforms and an increase in unemployment resulting from some policies to increase competition, including the trade liberalization, which often involves the close of firms, often resulting in increasing of income inequalities. Oh yes, in addition, the inability of certain groups of people to trade uh, to take advantage of the opportunities opened by trade and market affect liberalization can also lead to increased income inequalities. Another negative outcomes could be coordination failures, weak or missing market institutions, insufficient credit for poor people, and the questionable effects of economic growth. All of them provide him with its own explanation. I don't think that I have to go more deep on the subject. And that's my part. Thank you for watching.